but
Awesome.
so welcome. All right. So I'm curious. There's some people here who is on day one, who hasn't seen day one, and who's watched the replay. I'm just want to get kind of an idea of where everybody is, and all the good stuff. Let's see here.
And I know there's a little bit of delay.
Perfect. And then if you want to introduce yourself, new here today, welcome Angie. Still haven't seen the replay, no worries. You seen the replay or you didn't see the replay? Okay.
Great job.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
acknowledge you. Very
Nice.
cool.
Get a whole new set of peeps on the second day from the replay. I love it. Yeah.
Didn't see the replay. Well, if you need the link, we got you. Just message either one of us. We can get you the link
You can
over to
binge
watch.
watch right after this one.
There
It'll
you
be
go.
like watching the second episode of a show and then going back and watch the first one. It'll be okay though. Awesome, yes.
Binge watcher
Binge
over
watcher
here.
over here. There you go.
Appreciate you.
Awesome. Yeah, we Angie, if you want to shoot me a DM on Facebook, and I can get you that. But all right, let's get you started. Actually, let's get Don the co-hosting. He's the co-host master.
Co-host Master Don Hobley. Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, thank you.
Glad you didn't take a nap.
Yes, right.
So apparently I did an ad calendar and for some reason it didn't repeat daily. So I fixed it. Sometimes it takes up to 24 hours. So tomorrow we go at 5:30 p.m. Tomorrow we're talking about the launch. So yesterday we talked about like how do you create this hot audience? What's the messaging? Who are the people that you get to be talking to? Today we're talking about your program where you can set it up where people are like, oh my gosh, I need this offer, right? How can you set that up? And then tomorrow we're doing the launch. Like, so you have the audience, you have the program, you have the launch, and how can you set it up in a way that is negative stress? We won't say stress because there's always stress, right? But there's good stress and there's negative stress. So how can we create this in a way that has as least negative stress for you? Because a lot of times when we hear the word launch, we're like, I don't know what to do, or like, that is overwhelming, burnout, blah, blah, blah. So we want to make sure that those things are not happening.
Yep.
But
yeah, so the other things we want to talk about is like yesterday we talked about really how to create that hot audience that's like demanding your coaching, wanting to buy your program. And then today we're going to really talk about how they can they're going to be like, holy crap, I need that. They're like selling you instead of you selling them, they're selling you. And so we're going to go into that. But the first thing I want to put a disclaimer. It's going to be like, you better watch out because if you do these two things together, you're going to have some issues. How many people here actually watch the video in the waiting room? And actually, I don't even know if was there a video in the waiting room? I'm just curious if that showed up in this video. Yeah, with Amber, our client, our client, she was one of our biggest and first testimonial case studies, and she'd end up doing 138K in 6 weeks, which is great. It sounds awesome. But what we realized real quick is we were telling her to do what she's always done, which is like one-on-one coaching, custom packages, do everything unique for each person, right? And what that caused was like she really was out to like help the client.
Oh my God.
They got great results, which is awesome, and we hope everybody is. But the challenge is when you're doing a unique situation for every single person, is it's like what we did, right? If you guys watched the replay, we talked about doing done for you services, building funnels for people, unique situation. Every person got a unique funnel. Everybody got a unique system. And that turned into Holly's burnout, that turned out into seizures, that turned into end up being memory loss and all kinds of health issues. And we didn't realize this, but Amber kind of was starting to go down that road too, is in the sense of 6 clients, all custom, all like super like amazing work that she was doing with them, but she was very like concierge. There we go. That was the word. Concierge to the services because her program was like $33,000 for the year. So she was delivering a lot and wanting to deliver a lot for that money. And so when you saw she was at like the height, she was like just collecting all the money. Now she gets to like work with all these clients and deal with all the things of all of that. And then now, how do you keep that going and still get more clients and all of that? So the disclaimer is you're not, if you create a magical, like irresistible offer, you create this hot audience, which we did both of those for Amber. They're going to be throwing their credit card at you, and now you need to create something. Unless you want to be burned out and stressed and all that stuff, you get to create something leveraged that can handle a bunch of freaking clients, and still have that be amazing results for the client. So
Well, yeah, and part of the goal, we went through the model yesterday, part of the goal is freedom,
yeah.
right? So to be able to do, you know, what you want, when you want, how you want to do it. And when you have a lot of these custom offers, what happens is you don't have that freedom. So let's create something today that is going to be freaking amazing.
I think we have their sexy filter on done.
I don't know how to turn the filter off. I know I love my Zoom face. I'm like, I don't mean to have a filter on. It just like comes on. I have no idea how to take it off. And I've been using a collagen serum. So I don't know, maybe between the two of them.
I'm actually bald. This is all gone. It somehow puts hair in there. It's crazy. So let's thanks.
Oh, I heard after you've been partners for a while, you kind of form it
start morphing. It's the How I Met Your Mother of like Marshall and Lily, what did they call it?
I don't know. There you go. Anyways. All right. So let's talk about, you know, if you ask the question, how do you create a program that ultimately clients are demanding to join? Well, to answer that is to have a no-brainer offer, right? And what does it mean? What does it look like to have, I'm totally looking at notes just because. So what does it look like to have a no-brainer offer? Well, it has to include these few things, right? So one, it gets the results. Like you've got to fulfill on what it is that you promise to do. So it gets the results that you promise. It, I can't read my writing. Finish my sentence.
Me either. I was just about to say that. I'm like, I won't be reading any notes today. So we're just going to be.
Well, so, okay. So it gets what they want in a way that it seems like it's, or it gets the results, number one. Number two, it feels like it's something that they can actually do, right? It's attainable. Yesterday, we talked about the bridge, like you're the lighthouse, you're the guide. What you get to do is to shine the light and bring people across the bridge, right? It has to be attainable for them, and it gets to be in a certain amount of time. Like when people join a program, you know, whether there's no right or wrong or, you know, morality here, but as humans, we're like, we want results, we want them fast, right? Now we can't guarantee you're going to get fast results. Nobody can guarantee fast results of anything. But, and if you set your program up in a way that like, how can you get your clients quick wins?
Yeah.
Right. The quickest wins possible in the shortest amount of time.
That's why if you ever see a health coach program, like a really dialed in one, it always starts with a detox. It always starts with a detox. And the reason that is like, it's like you lose like 2 pounds. It might be some of water weight, but you're still losing weight. So that makes you confident that you're going to get more results. And it's funny. We started adding that to one of our health. She's like, I don't do a detox. I'm like, you should do a detox. It's really smart to like, because it gets them bought in and excited about the program. And so how can you, so this is like your first assignment is write down, how can you get, and it doesn't have to be the big win. It could be the first win, right? How can you start getting, well, let's comment in below. Everybody put in the chat, what is a win that your clients could get quickly? Like if you work with clients, what are the wins that if you like can you get right off the bat? Like what's the fast wins that you could help them get? And then how can you structure your program in a way that comes right away? Like I'll give you examples. So we do a training, in all of our programs that we've always had, is we do something called low-hanging fruit training. And it's all about the more customers, more sales. Well, okay, can you do that right off the bat? How can you do that day one? Could you do that week one? And what's that quick one that they can start getting? And so what we do is we do a low hanging fruit training. So it's like, how can you get your low hanging fruit? Danielle, I don't know if you've gotten that far yet, but in Quantum Impact, even in that program, we had a training around low hanging fruit. Do this post, talk to these people, say this, do this.
Right in the welcome.
Right in the welcome. It's like it boom, boom, boom. We want to be able to get, more leads and a freebie giveaway. Yeah, there you go. So what can you do right away to get your clients fast results?
And if you think about it, like for yourself, when you're in a program and when you're in there and you're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, and you get a result like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like that's like the feeling of that, like, oh my gosh, this was a great investment. I'm so glad I did this for myself. It's a confidence booster. So we want to give that to your clients as well. So something to be able to think about. Another part of go ahead.
Yeah, no, well, I'll just add to this. Sometimes I'll do this is if we're in like we do our strategy call, like our quote, like second call, which is like the sales call, but it's like really like all value, and you're just telling me how bad you want to work with us, essentially is the gist of it. And at the end of it, after you like decide to join the program, I'll go, let's solve a problem right now. Okay, so we need to help you do this. How can we solve this problem right now? I don't do this all the time. It's usually only if I have time and they have time. And it's like, boom, like we can get them a quick win right on that call. They're excited right off the bat. It's like the program is already starting to become real for them. So that's even a faster win than them getting logged in. So go ahead.
Absolutely. So another part of having a no-brainer offer is setting it up, packaging it up in a way that it's really like they feel crazy saying no, like, oh my gosh, yeah, like why wouldn't I do that? Right? This sounds amazing. So in order to everyone that's hopping on here, great timing. So in order to be able to create your offer,
I did.
First you get to create the program. And I'm curious here, do you guys have a program already? Is it just one-on-one? Is it like I'm just selling maybe a package of sessions? I'm just kind of curious so that I can make sure that I tailor this to help you in the best way possible. Because tonight, ultimately, my intention is that I want to really help you start getting clear on what your program is, like how you can set this up, how you can start including all of your geniuses into this. So let's just see what people are saying. Have a program for one-on-one. Got it.
Oh, I see it. Dan's actually playing the long game. He's tempting us to roll us in his program.
A coaching program. Well played, Don. One-on-one. That's funny. One-on-one, yes. Also doing custom one-on-one catered. I have nothing right now. No clients. Starting. Good.
Digital
Selling
products.
digital training and products, and also copywriting for businesses. Awesome. Okay, awesome. All right, so tonight is like, I hope you have a paper and pen or your phone, however you do this best. We're actually going to do the work tonight. This is not going to be just sit here and listen to us go on and on and on. I want you guys to leave something with like, holy smokes, this was the best time investment that I have made. Thank you, Chad and Holly. That is my intention. Is that fair enough? Plenty of ideas and concepts, not in flow yet. Awesome.
No clients.
Thank you. You are so welcome. Okay, so the difference, let's talk about the difference between having an offer and a program. Right? Because I feel like a lot of times they get like collapsed within each other and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, an offer. But your offer, well, let's start with the program. Your program is the deliverables. Like, so I get you from A, B, C in this amount of time. We meet once a week, or, and there's maybe modules on the back end, there's group coaching, like it's the actual deliverable and the program. Right now, your offer is how you package the program and communicate it out into the world.
Yeah, and so it's, if you think of it this way, as like a program is like, okay, this is the steps that it's going to go. Now it's like, the offer is this, like, this is what you want, and this is what it does, and how can we bridge the gap, right? How can we get, like, this is the thing that you want, this is the pain points that you have, this is the aspiration of where you want to go. We want the offer to be the bridge that moves them from one thing to the other. The program is how you do it, but the offer is how you communicate it. Nobody cares really about, well, we have 3 calls a week and we have
We do daily accountability. It's a 12-week program.
Yeah.
You're gonna do this.
It's not they don't really actually care about any of that. They want to know that you're going to bring them from where they are to where they want to be. Were you getting my water?
I was going to, but I'm not feeling the best,
Oh
so
yeah.
I will not drink your water.
Do you want me to go get you water?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. So is that clear? I just want to make sure everybody's really clear on the difference between offer and program.
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's create the program.
Yes. So what we're going to do is you want to get, okay. Remember creating book reports in like 8th grade? This is, I remember the first time that I ever did, maybe 7th grade.
Actually, we're gonna do the modalities first.
We're going to do modal. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead.
okay.
I can't read that, so I don't even know what we're doing. I'm just
Like I typically
jump
do
in.
all of the offers
What's up,
and stuff
Rory?
with our clients. So what I want to start with is this is package your genius, right? In order to package your genius, you got to be aware of what your geniuses are. So every single one of you guys, you have different modalities, you do different types of things for people, you've gone through certifications, you have different gifts that you bring. So what I want to do is I want to just get really clear on what those are. I want to set a timer for 2 minutes. I know it's not going to be a long time. You guys can finish this, but I do want to take time to actually do some work on this. And then I will go get my water in this two-minute stretch. So what we're doing here is I want you to take your pen and paper. We're going to set a timer. And then what I want you to do is literally just like list out all of the modalities of how you help your clients currently.
And so just imagine imaginary Jeopardy music playing in the background, because I don't want to,
music.
well, I don't want to get hit with any copyright things of Jeopardy music. So, but I want them.
Oh, but
to
I
add
have
it.
thinking music.
Okay, you can put
And
the-
it's got like
a copyright.
it's
Okay.
all good. So yeah, let me pull that up. I have it right easy because you never know. You always need thinking music on hand. Leave it to me. I will.
Does everybody know what they're doing? Just want to.
Put in some tripneural beats for you, get some focus going.
You guys aren't using binaural beats in your life.
Welcome to our
The baby's gonna be super cute. She sleeps in the same room as us.
put a timer for 2 minutes. Some water while you guys map out all of your modalities in your mouth.
Talk for about 15 seconds. If you have questions, what we're doing, drop it in the chat.
Hey, Chad, I'm not sure if it was just me, but your audio got really low.
Oh yeah, probably when you were sharing the audio, sharing the other audio, it probably makes us low. When we come back and talk, we'll turn it off. 5 seconds. All right. We gotta turn it on.
You gotta do like a crescendo down. I know it was soft. Okay, so 2 minutes. Oddly, I crank my music up and hear nothing. Okay, got it. That's weird. Well, the intention was good. So let's hear some things. I want to hear in the chat, what did you guys come up with? I would love to hear all of the things that you do, the different modalities that get people the results that you promise. Intuitive client magnetism program, love it. Strengthen your intuition, nervous system to strengthen your income and impact. Yes, super cool. I'm such a nerd for that stuff,
All of it.
all of it.
So what's everybody coming up with? Pencils down. Can you hear us better now, Don? Are we back? Okay, good.
It's interesting. Some people heard the frequencies and some people did not.
Is it like dogs can hear certain frequencies and then like
Probably spent too many years on the flight line in the Air Force.
Fair enough.
Anybody want to share what they're coming up with? There we go.
B2B, B2C copywriting, products consulting, 14 different copywriting products, website audit, content planning, chatbot consulting, business, mindset transformation, free offer, opt-ins, new vision, automated fan building, meditation, visionary work.
Yeah, he
crowdfunding.
works with musicians.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm like, what? You know your industry better than I do. Awesome. Okay. So now yesterday we talked about having your ideal client, but also the ideal outcome, right? And where we wanted to take it from like, what is the 3D, if you will, like what is the physical outward promise that you fulfill for your ideal client? So mindset, breath work, quantum human design specialist, transformational coach. Yes. Law of attraction life coach, listen, question, encourage. Perfect. Cool. So now you guys have your modalities. Like these are your this is the way, right? Yesterday, did you guys get clear on what that outcome that you give for your clients are?
I know some people didn't make
Weren't
day
here
one.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So what we talked about yesterday was ultimately having a specific outcome that when people hire you, this is what they get. When people hire us, we help you with your client attraction process. We help you with your offer, your program, and to do it all in a way that is in alignment to who you are, and so that you are absolutely unstoppable through it.
Yeah. And it really comes down to this. It's like you're going to get the best results. The clients that's like the easiest results for us, it seems, is that they get a very specific result for a very specific person. When you can get a very specific result for a very specific person, it becomes so much easier to create messaging. It's so much easier to create an offer. It's so much easier to do this. And so that's what yesterday we talked about the who and the specific result. Now we're talking about the kind of the how, right? Like how do you take all the things that you do and put it into a process?
And we're going to do our best to create that process tonight.
Yeah. And if you guys need more support around this, we can have a conversation and see if we can support you in it. because obviously this is a 3-day event. We're not going to be able to do everything that we do. We're about to do a 90-day program all on this, what we're attempting to do in 3 days, right? So it's going to be help conscious songwriters with a message grow their fan base and raise thousands of dollars. Awesome.
Perfect. Love it.
Yes.
Increase self-confidence, self-acceptance, self-esteem. Clients tell me they feel like they've come back to themselves.
Love
I
it.
love that. Mastering creative clarity for heart-centered and creative professionals. I would even get more clear on like, what is having the increased self-confidence going to do for them?
Yeah.
Like that self-acceptance and the esteem. Like, of course it's important, but what is it going to help them achieve in their life that they're not achieving now? And the same with the creative clarity for heart-centered and creative professionals. Like, what is that going to do for them?
Yeah. And I guess it's like a 13-year-old confidence is going to be different than a 60-year-old and what they're going to be able to do with that confidence. So when you think of who that ideal client is, how is confidence going to change their life?
Core choice coach here. Help people change their lives by changing the structure they're in, teaching them that they are not broken. Just thought to give them their first choice alignment during the very first session to leave them with pure joy. Love it. I love that. I choose the end result to live the life I love. So I help them align to that life they love to live. Awesome. Very cool.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So it sounds like we're pretty clear on building a visionary creative project blueprint in 12 weeks. Cool. I'm like, okay, so what is a visionary project blueprint going to do for them? I'm going to keep asking, and I'm doing it literally for you. So the more clarity that your audience has, the more clients, like people don't like confusion, right? As soon as they're confused, they're like, I don't know what that is. And then there's a gazillion things to do online. So like the more clarity you can narrow it down and speak to their life, because we know as coaches, it's all the inner work, right? It's all tapping into your creativity and your intuition and having the confidence and the self-trust. That's how we get results in your life. But we want to know, like, what is it that they're going through? So my existing program is training psychics so that they can make 100K years. I have sold 20 spots and 2 launches, but I want to expand. Heck yeah.
So, yeah, and this is the thing is like, well, I would explain it to them, right? Like I would explain them what that is. But the thing is when we get on, when we're like putting things out online, sometimes we don't have that opportunity to have that conversation. And sometimes you don't want to have that conversation. It's like there's a ton of people that are going to be looking at this messaging and seeing your posts and comments. And it's like, there might be people that are not your ideal people, and you ultimately want to create your messaging to attract your ideal people and push away your non-ideal people. And so when you have that, like, if you have that concept of like, oh, well, I'll explain them what that is, then it becomes now you have to have one-on-one conversations with all of these people to explain to them what you do. And wouldn't you just rather them just be ready to hire you when that you actually have a conversation with them instead of you having to explain things to them? So that's my rant.
Awesome. Increased self-confidence allows them to give themselves permission to believe that they can do, be, or have what they want, empowering them to take action.
What do they want? So your ideal person, what do they want?
Yeah. And just to throw, well, yeah, well, I'm going to let you do that, and we're here.
Yeah.
Close before the close. You're just talking about a couples program, so I want to
close off before the close.
Okay. Do you want to get started and
Yeah,
we can get, because I know the delay, there's a delay here and I want to be mindful of time. All right. So what we want to do next is now we can do the book report. So you remember back in the day when you were in school and you had to do an outline of a book report or some sort of outline type project. This was literally like, at the time I hated it, but it has become one of the most like valuable things that I've done and probably the only thing that I've ever used in school still. And hence like I've homeschooled 3 children now, and it was still like this one skill of being able to outline has like carried through them. Like, that's probably why I'm really good at creating offers and stuff. I homeschooled 3 children, and I've been doing it for years.
This is the only thing I remember from school.
So what we're
Something
gonna
like it.
do is, with this end result in mind, so you have your clients of where they are now and the end result of what it is that they want. What we want to do is we want to have the mental map is great, but when you put it on paper, it gives you so much clarity of like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do this. Someone just said like the first session, you're going to do, something that's going to release their joy, right? So that's perfect. So what you want to do is you want to literally map out from A to Z, like what are the things that you're going to do? And it doesn't necessarily have to be like, this doesn't necessarily have to be modules, but it starts giving you a process so that you can start systematizing this and getting it out there. Do I want to read?
No, you don't.
Okay, we're gonna stay on task. I can see both of you guys' face. So whatever the comments say, we'll get there. But
I'll
let's get
respond to Lizzie's thing. That was a reading list. You were supposed to read that. I thought that was suggested.
Oh. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do some outlining we're gonna put the music back on. We're gonna give you guys a few minutes, and I want to really before we do this, actually, I would love to just do this, is just take some breaths and get really centered. Like, I want you to just breathe in through your nose and exhale. And as you're breathing, I want you to just think about your ideal client. Think about what he or she is really out for in their life. Just coming really present of why they hire you, what results you give them. We're going to put some music on. I want you to stay in this space of really just focusing in on your heart space and your client and those results. I want you to map out from A to Z, or from Z to A, whichever one works best for you, because we all think different. Some people want to reverse engineer it from outcome or if you want to go A, B, C, whatever one is going to work best for you. There is no right or wrong here, but I want you to just start mapping out what exactly needs to happen with your clients for them to be able to get that result.
And before, yeah. So why we can Oh, let me put a timer to at 2 minutes.
We actually gave 5 for this.
Oh, we have 5.
Yeah.
Sure. We're gonna do 4 since we talked for a little bit there.
I'm gonna give them the opportunity.
All right. 4, 4, 4.
Perfect. I will say you may or may not be done yet, and it's totally okay. This is something that if you are not done yet, this can even be refined through the process, but I'm like, do it for homework tomorrow so you have it. So in my program, we have lenses. That is a long, a short, focus on their goals, and a check-in daily, weekly, monthly, 90-day. So I'm curious while I'm reading this, was this helpful? Did it give you guys some clarity of like, oh, this is the process. This is the program. Long-term assignment is to visualize the life that they love. When they have it, write that down, send it to me as well. It is an intense program. So that sounds amazing. So do you have it mapped out of like week 1, you focus on your short-term lenses, deciding on your deal target audience is a challenge. Yes, I saw a missing step, and that's totally normal. I'm like the sun and the light. I'm like trying to my old lady eyes. So Mike, I don't know if you were here yesterday. I apologize, but if you didn't, that could give you some insight to figure out who that ideal audience is. That can definitely be a thing. So yes, awesome. I saw a missing step I used that I had not included before. Cool. So if you're looking at that program, actually first, if you're looking at all of it, right, you're going to notice that there's some patterns. And so what we're going to talk about next is discovering your pillars. Right, so our main pillars in our program is attract, right? We showed you the model, attract, enroll, and capacity, right? A capacity is like the energetic piece, enroll is like how do you create your program, your offer, the enrollment process. The attract is how do you build your audience, gain more visibility, create a movement, right? So those are the 3 pillars that we have in our program. So now we can go to other people like, hey, what is the process? How do you get this? Well, we first work on helping you attract your ideal people, create a movement, get more visibility, create an enrollment process, and be able to hold the space for all of it in a way that is empowering for you, where you are freaking unstoppable.
Yeah, and I'll give you like a real world, like if when we're on a call, and this might like give you if we book a call and we get to a second call and we get to the end and we're like,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert, just ignore what I'm saying, right? Or
just laugh when you're there,
you
it's
can
fine.
laugh, it's cool. So everything that I do is I'm writing notes on what they want, what's happening now to them, and what's in the way of them getting to where they want to go. And each one of those things fall into one of the boxes of attracting, enrolling, or capacity. And so what I do is I connect them. So they're like, where would you like to go from here? And they're like, well, tell me about your program. Well, you know how you're talking about you want to build your audience in a more consistent way, right? You want to be able to build this hot audience or have this. Well, that's what we do. We're going to help you in the impact marketing system, and we're going to be able to create that that audience for you, that hot audience. And then you're like, well, I'm overwhelmed in all these one-on-ones and I'm working all these hours. And it's like, that's why we create your True North program. And we help you create a leverage program so you can work less and you make way more money and way more impact and have the freedom, right? And so I'm using, and then you're like, but I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to handle a team and be able to hire, a VA and be able to manage that. And I don't know how to, just be able to handle all the like life, right? Like being able to run a business. I got kids, I got all this stuff. That's why we have the capacity level. We help you increase your plate, right? We talk about
We don't add on to your plate. We increase the plate.
Yes, exactly. So our program isn't about like people are like, oh, I just have so much on my plate. I can't add another thing to my plate. Well, that's why our program is we actually help you increase your plate so that, and we help you put your life and your business in our plate because we're here to support you with all of it, to help you increase your capacity so that you can handle it all, so that you can grow your business and manage your life in a better way. And so I'm using the things that they're saying and then bringing it back to how we help people. Is that clear for everyone? On how to use your pillars, and then we'll help you, or then you'll like kind of work through the creation.
So I want you to look at your outline and you're like, okay, pillars. So really the pillars are like the umbrellas, right? So this is ultimately your pillars become your process. And you want things very simple. Like three's like the magic number of the universe. Like 3 works. So results, women reclaim their power, sexuality, and leadership. Boom.
Oh.
And men experience sacred power of feeling and surrender. And I would say that that's probably whether man or women, it manifests in different ways, but really those 3 are your pillars: power, sexuality, and leadership.
Yep. Yeah. So Lorna, if you look at your pillars, right? So that's your 3. It's like if you're having a conversation with somebody there, you're listening for where they have a loss of power, where is the sexuality not being communicated, or like they're not getting that out, and the leadership is not there, right? And you can connect everything to what they want. So hopefully that was helpful.
Great, thank you.
For
Mhm.
sure. So in the comments, are you guys seeing your pillars? Is something coming up for you? We can even give a space if you'd like, if kind of walk you through some of this real quick. 3 pillars: intuitive alignment, nervous system well-being, magnetized clients, and prosperity.
That's great.
Yeah. So these pillars become your process. They become the foundation of the content that you create. They become, as you create your offer and you're communicating it, these are the things that you're communicating around.
Yeah, I find the people that have the hardest time coming up with their niche are the people that are the most worried about offending or pushing away or not helping everyone. It's like the person that has like the 17 stray cats around their neighborhood and they're like hurting them in the backyard because they don't want to like let one have an issue. That may or may not resonate with anybody. And so we have to, we can only help those who want to help. Exactly. And it's like, this is the thing. It's like, we need to realize that we can help the people that we can help best and that really want it. And we really have to tell everybody else to fuck off. Until
With love.
with love. Yeah, so it's because it's like we can, and this is why we tell the story of all of our clients that made a bunch of money or had a bunch of clients and then gave back to a charity or give away a spot in their program or whatever, like this, because a lot of times it's the money thing. I want to help everyone, and a lot of people don't have money, and they're like, you have to disconnect your business from a nonprofit mindset, and it's like separate the two. Do them separately. Make a shit ton of money, take a percentage, give it to a nonprofit. Or if you feel like you can run a nonprofit, do
We just got a
that.
picture of kids in their shoes today, speaking of.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, I don't think I shared that with you. Yes, exactly. So, Don, you should have, there's no shoulding here. If 4 came up, then 4 came up, right? I can even see your model. It's like a square and do. So it's totally okay. I wouldn't do more than 4 because again, simplicity and clarity will always win. So you don't want too much where it starts getting confusing and we're like, oh, well, this and this and this and okay, that like people just start turning away. So 4 is perfect. It's all good. So pillars, clarity, vision, action. Nice. Very cool. Renewed hope, new belief and value, gives them permission to dream and new possibility. So I'd say hope, beliefs and values, and possibilities. Awesome. Okay. So this
This
is
is
so good.
valuable.
We're breaking it down. I'm so excited for you guys. This can be really powerful. All right. So from here, what you want to do is you want to figure out how you're going to deliver it. So Chris, I'm gonna Chris is still here. So I met Chris. We're both Soma breath instructors. So we both went through a certification. So I know that you do breath work. And so I'm just gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna use breath work as an example. And so hopefully this will help you as well. And so if you guys do like meditations or hypnosis or any of those things, because how you deliver this is going to be like how you're going to be able to grow. Right, like we talked about Amber, we have lots of clients who have gone through, you know, a lot of people hire us because they have a lot of one-on-one clients and like, how can I do this? And my work is so custom. And, you know, I was doing 90-minute sessions and stuff too. So I get it. And it's totally okay. That's why that outline is so important. Like, where are the custom things within the outlines that are necessary? Is it week 1? Is it week 4? Like, I can almost put money on that. It doesn't need to be custom every single week when you have like this outline and process, and just include the one-on-ones in there. So as far as breath work, that could even be its own group call. So we've done where we actually have in our modules, we have a whole breathwork library back there. And there's breathwork for getting clients, for money blocks, for, you know, you name it. And when things start coming up, I can create new breathworks and add them in there. So you may have like a call a month where it's like a live breathwork session, or if you want to do it more, like it could be like a weekly thing or a bi-weekly thing. So we do, you can have an energetics. So we do an energetics call every other week, right? And that's based on how I see. So you get to have the flow in this, but based on what I'm seeing our clients and what they're working through, like, okay, this is what the energetics and the alignment call gets to be. This could be a breath work that's really going to help people. So as you have your outline, you want to think ultimately we're coaches, not teachers, right? So what you want to do is anything that you find yourself over teaching, put it into a module.
Yeah, you should never, ever be, let me say that, like 5% of your time in a one-on-one call be teaching anything, right? It should be all like, go, hey, I'll touch on this really quick, but we have a whole module on this. Go watch this, and then we'll talk about this on your next call.
The exception is if you're doing a live program and you're recording it as you go, and that is communicated up front, like, hey, we're doing this live, so it'll be live classes once a week, and then maybe you have a coaching call another, like maybe another week or another day or every other week.
Yeah, and so we like to do a combination of like workshops and then modules. Like if there's stuff that we've done 100 times, like you don't need like throw it in a module, boom, that's done. Now they get that in the week, and go through that by the time we get in the next call, because you're gonna need it. And then we're gonna do a workshop next time, and we're gonna go deep and do the work. Right? Like we're going to work through all of the stuff. So it's like, how can you take the things that this is a thought exercise. All the things that you think are custom, if you're actually working with your ideal client and like you're narrow enough a niche, does it really need to be custom? Or could you deliver it in a module or a workshop? So that's like something, if you feel like things really need to be cut.
And this might be a growth. So this
Yeah.
is the great thing about having both. So
Mhm.
we used to, I would do a realignment session with all of our new clients. So you come in, we have the onboarding, and then we schedule a 90-minute realignment session. And in this session, and it worked for a while until we grew and it didn't work anymore. And so you don't have to be like, this is how it is. It's always going to be this way. Like you are always expanding and growing and optimizing, but it may be like, to Chad's point, I want you to think big and like, I don't know, does it? But if you're like, well, I don't see another way right now, and I really want them to get results. Well, having 1 or 1 to 4 one-on-one sessions, and I would say 4 might be, depending on how long your program is a lot more leverage than having 1 every single week.
Yep.
Right. So I would rather you like get on, like you have your onboarding call, and then, if you do like a hypnosis or a very custom thing for a person, then maybe you do that in the onboarding, or you do it in like you have 1 call in the beginning, maybe you have 1 call in the middle, and maybe you have 1 one-on call at the end and kind of wrap up and complete the program. And then you can do group in between.
And that could be like your launch special. You're going to get these one-on-one calls, and then now you get to strategize. The next time I launch this, I'm not doing any effing one-on-one calls, right?
But that
Like-
depends on where you are. And some people really love them. And I actually love one-on-one. I love our one-on-one clients. We do have one-on-one.
And they're
and
paying a good amount of money for
And
that.
I would say that is another positive thing about, like, a lot of people want to have a lower price for a group program. where
Doesn't
really-
have to be.
It doesn't have, like, group programs can be highly transformational. I freaking love group programs because, the program that I'm in, because I believe coaches always should have coaches. So the group coaching program that I'm in, like, I freaking love it. They're rock stars. Sometimes I don't even need to get in a hot seat or ask a question because everyone else says, I'm like, that's exactly what I needed. And I didn't even know that I needed it, and it's there. So it's a limiting belief that you have to lower the cost of your group to have a group. It is not a lesser value, but actually what it does is it increases your one-on-ones. Right? So I wouldn't decrease your group program. I would actually have your group program, the price of your group program, and then start increasing.
Or even the
one-on-one.
price of your one-on-one, and then you increase the one-on-one.
That's what I just said.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you said,
No.
never mind. Anyways, thank you, Lizzie. Or Lorna, Scott, sorry. Yeah, so it's really about how can you create your group program to be support? How can you just support them in what they're going through? They can show up, and then they go through the modules, they show up, and then now you're supporting them with what their resistance is, that you can support them through like what they're getting stuck on in the modules. Then you can take those things and maybe you create a workshop and specifically hit those really hard. So then you're handling it with everybody, because if one person's getting stuck on something, a lot of people are. And now you can add that to your modules, and then boom, you've filled the gap. Is this helpful? I just want to kind of check in.
So right now I do only one-on-one with my client patients. It's at least 3 months with 2 calls per week and daily emails. I do have teaching modules they can watch so I can concentrate on coaching.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like it's time to launch a group program. I'll give you an example. So we have a client that was actually, she's crushing it on TikTok and crushing it on Instagram, and she's actually repelling clients. Excuse me. She was repelling clients. She booked 50 calls in a week and nobody showed up. Right? That's insane. And I think one reason, it was obviously there was a technical breakdown, but energetically we caused these things, because if she would have done those 50 calls and then she would have got,
She was doing all one-on-one.
if she's doing all one-on-one, so she got even 20% of those clients, that's 10 clients, all one-on-one, stacked on top of her current clients, she would have been exhausted. And it's just like a ton of more work and just doing the things, right? And so I believe that her subconscious actually caused this tech breakdown and to protect her for essentially getting those clients.
Our brains are super powerful.
Yeah, because our brains are super powerful. And so especially if you're in this situation, you have good lead flow, you not having a leverage program that can handle a bunch of clients could be repelling clients and essentially repelling money. And if you're undercharging, then you're double effed, because then you don't have money, like you're not making good money and you're not attracting the clients. So it's like that's like all kinds of like rough.
You're gonna get burnout
Yeah.
with the most love.
Yeah, especially because then that's an energy thing. Because if you're undercharging and you're not making enough to like be abundant, then you're start resenting your clients. You start like
Resenting your business.
resenting
Like,
your
I'm
business.
working hard and it's still not, like, I feel like I'm still struggling. That is the worst feeling ever.
Yep.
So, so why not have a group with breakout one-on-ones occasionally? So that could be a thing, but ultimately, like when you're doing that outline, that's why that outline could be so important, is like few things like, okay, how long is it going to take for them to actually get this result? And then if there's one-on-one that's necessary, at what point in the program is that necessary?
Yep.
So
Lizzie,
also
let's book a call and we can have a conversation and see if it's aligned for us to support you with that.
totally.
Because this is obviously going to give you some foundations, but
Yeah.
okay. So what's next?
So ultimately, I'm like, at 6:30, I want to be on our word. Like, hit it at least about an hour. So we covered a lot tonight. Yes, like that didn't even feel like it was a freaking hour. So tonight, what we talked about creating all of your, like, getting all of your geniuses out on paper. Now, what you did was step 2 was create the outline of your program. If you didn't finish that yet, like, work on it tonight and start taking, like, where are those modalities? Are you using breathwork sessions? Is there like visualizations? At what point in the program do those need to be in, right? Once you start kind of formulating all of this, then you start seeing what your pillars are. And when you have your main pillars, your pillars are ultimately your process and the foundations of your content, of creating your offers, of communicating it effectively, of what you do, right? And then you structure the program of how it's going to work for you so that you can leverage yourself, you can create that freedom where you're not burnt out. And you, like, we started coaching to make a difference and an impact with people. It came from a heart, right? When you first start coaching and then you've coached for years and maybe you haven't, like, you've gotten the burnout experience of working with so many clients that you're like, or you haven't charged enough, or you're like, right? Like, let's get rid of that and be able to structure something that works for you and for the life that you want and what's important to you, and be able to give what your clients need and what they hire you. Like, you are allowed to have it all. So
Awesome.
with that,
Can you grab the link off the Facebook? I just sent it to you.
yeah.
Awesome. Glad that this has been valuable. I'm going to drop a link so we can book a call. This is just a 15-minute call, just to kind of see if it's aligned, if we can support you, all the good things. Unless you like somehow like convince me to take money on this call, I usually don't. So, and it's really just to kind of see if it's a good fit, and then we schedule another call and go deeper. So, book a call, and
if you haven't finished your outline and stuff, get that done. So now everyone that was live and here, you guys, look how fun this is. I love this hat. I just found it while cleaning. So you guys get a drawing app. How this works is after, so tomorrow you guys will also get a drawing. And the day after, we're gonna go through, we're actually gonna have Charlie come up here because I don't want to hear like, oh, well, you grabbed or saw paper, whatever. Yep, she's totally, so we're gonna have Charlie pull a name out of the hat a day after, and the person who wins, we have a special treat for you specifically. So depending on who wins, that's going to be, you know, we have some people who are in here who are already clients. So to give you something like that you've already bought isn't going to work. So I don't want to reveal what it is. It's just going to depend on who wins, but I have a lot of ideas, and they're definitely going to be valuable and things that people have paid for in the past. So I will say that. So tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Tomorrow we talk about the launch and how do we create the launch in a way that has a positive stress response for you, that you're excited, that you have a roadmap to follow. I am I am very appreciative of you. This has been a lot of fun. We haven't done a 3-day in a long time, and I always love coming on lives here with you guys. So with that, go ahead and book a call. If your body is like, all right, I'm going to talk to these people, listen to your body. I appreciate you, and we will see you on tomorrow's call.
Andrea, shoot me a DM, or just go to your email and check spam.
Oh, did
There
you
should be a
send
replay.
the graphic?
I did.
Okay, so there is in your email as well, we created a graphic in Canva where you click the button, there's a little frame that pops up. You can put your picture in the frame, share it on social media or on your stories. It's created for stories, tag Chad and I, and then you'll also get an extra ballot in there as well. So with that, we got to make this fun as well. I appreciate you guys.
Not specifically JJ. I'm not sure. No, somebody asked me how do I listen to the call, and I said to DM me or go check your spam, the replay.
Yeah, so if you need yesterday's replay, you can message us, check your email, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my friends, see you tomorrow.
See ya. Boom.